Well, with that being said, thank you for the update on how PLU baseball is doing. Speaking of, we have the best hitter on the #1 team in the conference, the best hitter in the Northwest Conference statistically. He just had 2 home runs in today's 15-9 win over crosstown rival UPS. He's first in the conference in batting average, runs batted in, and home runs. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Jacob Bockelie.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. I'm glad to finally get you in here because you were having a monster season, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is my first radio show, so I don't know really what to expect.
We're just having a nice conversation.
Yeah.
We're just having to talk.
Oh yeah.
But I got to ask. I mean, watching you hit, it's been very fun this season. So what's it kind of like when you're in the batter's box, facing opposing pitchers, and you just kind of know you're in the zone?
It really comes down to like how I'm feeling just at the start of the day. Like when we take our pregame BP, I'll feel locked in. Like I'll start piecing balls, just line drives, all spraying them all over the field. And then when it comes to getting up to the plate, I know like, hey, I'm gonna beat you up on the mound, and just kind of taking that mentality and just and then the baseball is, for me recently, has been looking like the size of one of those beach balls you see, one of those inflatable ones. But honestly, it's been a lot of mental for me.
Right.
Just kind of having that dominant mentality, like, hey, I'm gonna beat you, and I think it's definitely helped this season. Like it's kind of like last year I didn't really have that dominant mentality, but I think going into this year knowing that I was going to be the guy, that it's helped me become the hitter that I am today.
So you weren't always, I mean, maybe somewhere in there you were always this hitter, but like statistically speaking, you know, when you first came in to PLU, you weren't the man like you are now.
God, no.
So kind of explain the process of how you were as a player when you first got to PLU and how you are now as a leader, a senior, the best hitter in the conference in the team.
No, my freshman year when I came in here, I wasn't as big as I am now. Like I've grown a lot physically. But I kind of spread the ball out on the field a little more of a singles guy, kind of finding ways on, trying to be a little sneaky, I guess. And then over the years, just working out, just working in the batting cages with a bunch of the guys, just improving my game overall. It's allowed me to evolve into this kind of hitter. Like before this season and the season before, I had never hit a home run since Little League.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Wow. Yeah.
Man, those Chris Rice workouts really paying off for you.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy to think about. Like I was not a home run hitter back in high school, Little League, all this other stuff. Yeah, go T-Birds. But I think it's been a lot of help, like with the coaches, just kind of helping develop like that aggressive mentality, like attacking certain pitches and always putting on your aggressive swing. Because I remember I wasn't an aggressive, like I would try to make contact and try to put the ball in play, and that's kind of where a lot of my success came from. Like I've never really been a guy who strikes out a lot. I've always been a guy who finds a way to put the ball in play, and so I think that's helped me evolve into being that more of aggressive hitter, but while also being able to, if I'm in a bad situation, be able to put the ball in play and give myself a chance.
So as you know, Zach and Sarah pointed out, you guys are, as a team, not just you individually, as a team are playing very good baseball right now on both ends. Mm-hmm. You started the season a little rough. Can you explain how you're now on that hot streak, #1 in the conference?
Yeah, definitely. So at the beginning of the season, we almost didn't know who we were as a team. Like we were still trying to figure ourselves out, like where guys were going. Like we were still battling with a couple of injuries. Goslin's arm wasn't the best, so so he was consistently playing at second. Now that he's a lot healthier, he's being able to play third more often, and we're just trying to find who can play the best that they can play at different positions. Like I've bounced around a little bit recently. Like started the year DHing. I played first whenever Cole's pitching, but now that this past weekend I played right field the entire time. Like I haven't played outfield since God knows when. And so it's a learning experience for me, but I think it's the fact that we've been grinding. Like we've bought into what our coaches have been telling us. We've bought into each other. We're playing for each other out there. Like we want we know like how good we can be, and we keep working each day. Like today wasn't a pretty win. I mean, we did score a lot of runs, but we still struggled in a couple areas. I feel like defensively. I know I made a couple mistakes. Yeah.
You know, it's fine though when you hit 2 bombs.
Yeah.
You're allowed to drop a few.
Yeah, I'm learning. That's what it is. But I feel like as a team, we've been getting better and better each weekend, and it's I don't know who can beat us right now, because it's a dogfight in our conference.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Well, UPS is second going into this game, right?
Yes, going into this game, they were second in conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they're second, and the score got a little closer at the end, but that game didn't feel close.
No, that game should not have gotten to the point of where it was, which, again, I touched on it earlier, just kind of like where we need to improve on with our defense and something guys with our pitching as well.
So you kind of mentioned it earlier in terms of beginning of the season, trying to figure out who you were identity-wise, and a lot of that's probably due to the personnel, a lot of different personnel that you haven't used in years past, whether they're freshmen now or they were underclassmen before and they just weren't used, or people like Torrey Doughton or Cummings, people like that just haven't played in those positions yet. So you kind of have that healthy mix of now experienced upperclassmen and just a handful of young, talented freshmen. So what's that team dynamic like?
It's interesting because this is, I'd say it's one of the younger teams that I've played with in the past. Like, we got a good mix of seniors and freshmen, that's definitely for sure. But in years past, we haven't had, like, freshmen haven't gotten a lot of opportunities, like, historically speaking. I know my freshman year was me and Connor Cantu, who were the only 2 guys who had regular opportunities, whether it was hitting or because he became our starting center fielder after like the first week due to injury, and he's been killing it for 4 years. That dude can play. Holy smokes, he is good.
Yeah.
And then I guess with our young guys, guys that haven't been playing a lot in years past, like Cummings coming in, he's been good throughout the entire time he's been here. He's been so good, like offensively, like in practice and stuff. But it's stuff that guys like everybody else doesn't see. And now that he's getting everyday opportunities, he's being able to flourish. He's being able to grow as a hitter, and that's one thing that's going to make him dangerous in years to come. And it's an interesting dynamic between the younger guys and the older guys, though, because we're all playing for each other. Like, we know what we want, we know what we're capable of, and we just gotta keep working towards it.
So last year you lost great players and leaders like Ben Welch, Landon Packard, Corey Vanderstay. How has the senior class stepped up with losing great leaders like that?
Yeah, anytime you lose 2 All-Americans up the middle, it's tough to fill that void. But at the same time, with the seniors and the other guys who we have, like this leadership squad, we all come together, and in the end, we know what we're playing for. We know what we're capable of, like I've said a few times. But it's come down to, we set the tone as seniors and upperclassmen, and the freshmen and the younger kids, they emanate that tone where they follow along. You know, they're busting tails in the weight room, they're busting tails in the cages, we're doing a bunch of early work, they're always out there, and it's showing with younger guys stepping up and coming and playing. And I think that's been a huge impact for them, just coming out and working with us, like, because that happened to me freshman year. Like, I got out there, I talked to all the older guys, and I tried to immerse myself with them, which might have been what helped me a lot, I guess, get some opportunities. But no, with Landon on the staff too, it's helped a lot because he's been in all the situations that we've been in too, and so he can relate to it. Whereas it's tough when your coaches are 10, 15 years older than you, trying to relate to a situation. But at the same time, it's nice having Landon on the staff because, I mean, playing with him for 3 years, he's easy to talk to, and he's super helpful when it comes to mentality, comes to swinging, comes to defense too. I mean, you got a Gold Glover out there helping your defense, so it helps a lot.
I mean, he was the one taking videos of your walk-off too. That was him.
Yeah, he runs our Twitter page.
He can do it all.
Yeah,
he really can.
Landon Packard.
I got one more question for you, and Sarah might have a few, but basically you got to tell us. So you were injured last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. tell us more about how that happened and how you came back from that injury.
Yeah, so it was a cold, dark, stormy night. No, it was right before New Year's. I was making a sandwich, and I was using avocados. And long story short, I sliced my finger open, trying to open an avocado. Great story. I don't like telling it. And so I had to get surgery to repair the tendon in my finger, and that was a long recovery, 5 months easily, just trying to relearn how to use my finger, how to strengthen. I still don't even have full range of motion in my finger. I can't even straighten
That's
it still.
crazy.
Like it's pretty. I call it the hook sometimes, just because it's curved. It's bad, but I think it helped me learn because I was able to focus more so on my mechanics and stuff, and try to focus on being the best I could be when I come back, whenever it was. Like, I initially wanted to try to come back by the end of the season, because that was when we made our it would have been my second regional run. I mean, not being a part of the team, but it was our second regional run in 2 years. And so I was hoping to try to come back, but then my coach just said, hey, just sit out the rest of the year, just don't even worry about it, because you're only going to be back for maybe 10% of the games. And I was like, it hurt. It definitely hurt a lot, knowing that you can't play and help support your teammates, because going into that season, I'd grown a lot as a player and everything, and I was starting to realize like I could be the guy, going into the season. But then this happened, and well, yeah, we all know the story from there.
Yeah. Hey, but I would say you're better for it now, and
oh, definitely.
now you are the man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I learned a lot. I'd say I'd learned a lot from that injury.
Definitely. Well, Bach, we appreciate you coming in, talking with us. I know you got other stuff to do, and you're just post-win, so riding that high.
Oh, just a little bit.
2 bombs. Do 2 bombs to your stat line today, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Bockelie, senior, to be a super senior next year for PLU baseball. We appreciate him coming in.